is going to be short and sweet. Hello, I'm Victoria Arzu, founder of Proyecto Más Color, and I've had an interesting history with my own YouTube channel. If you're joining me right now for the first time, basically I started talking about the lack of representation of Afro Latinos in 2013 with my sister on our channel, and from there other people have been inspired to talk about the issue as well. And here we are 8 years later, still still with the same problem. And when I saw the trailer, I'm going to try my best not to get emotional because I don't want to be coined as the angry Afro-Latina. But I told myself when I saw the trailer for Washington Heights, or Washington Heights, I told myself that I'm not going to watch that movie. And I don't think any Afro-Latino should watch that movie. I think it's time to get a little bit more assertive as Afro-Latinos. And we need allies. We need allies in the Latino community who are light-skinned, such as the director of Washington Heights, who also did Hamilton. And it's not like he's completely ignorant about the existence of Afro-Latinos. Nobody is ignorant within the Latino community. Like, there's no way you can be ignorant about people who come from your country, because Afro-Latinos are in every Latin American country. The thing is, once light-skinned Latinos come to the United States, the tables are turned. It's like, if you look black, you're just black, and you don't get the same opportunities as light-skinned Latinos. You don't get the same privileges. You don't get the white passing. We are decades behind in the progress of racial justice, and it's a little bit disingenuous to witness light-skinned Latinos. I saw in the trailer something a lady was saying, "We're not invisible. We have power," something like that. I know I know that you know what I'm talking about. Us Afro-Latinos, we're not invisible either. And those of us who deserve the spotlight are not only the ones with lighter skin. Colorism has completely bled into every aspect of our lives as human beings, and it's a shame to see it manifest and remain unchanged in the Latino community. And Washington Heights, it's just a testament to how far we need to go, like how behind we are as a community, as a Latino community. We're very behind in terms of racial equality, colorism, stereotyping. You know, usually the mulatas are chosen as the black girls, the morenitas, when girls who are as dark and darker than me deserve the same reverence, the same elevation. This is not a battle between light skin and dark skin Latinos. This is a civil rights issue. Definitely. I haven't been, exactly successful per se in conveying my idea that, You know, let me take that back. I have been successful in conveying my idea. Hi, Mr. Tom. I'm doing a video. I have been successful in conveying my idea of how Afro-Latinos need to be recognized. And I'm proud that, you know, at least people are talking about it now. Still, people are talking about it 8 years later, and they see the need, they see the salience of the idea. But it's not being implemented. People are not listening. Univision and Telemundo are not listening. They're not doing anything about it 8 years later. It's like they have this like swarm of bees surrounding them, but they keep, you know, acting like we don't exist, you know, shooing us away as if we're gnats. It's very disingenuous. So to the director of Washington Heights, I'm very disappointed in you. It's not like you don't know that Afro-Latinos, it's like there's a denial. There's a denial, and there's this sort of resistance against casting dark Latinos. That, and it's a legacy, it's an ugly legacy that needs to end. We are all Latinos, whether you're dark as night or as light as a piece of paper. We come in all colors. We are a rainbow. We are an ethnicity. We are not a race. So this whole thing about mejora la raza is it's a toxic idea. It's toxic, it's racist, it's colorist, it's wrong. It's wrong. And I don't know how many times I have to tell people this. I don't know how many times I have to get on the internet and say, yo, y'all need to do this because this is wrong. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Why do I have to come out and say, hey, this is wrong? There's a thing called morality. Either you have it or you don't. And at this point, Latin American media is immoral. They're immoral for not showing Afro-Latinos. It's wrong. It's wrong. So I'm not gonna bother watching movies like Washington Heights, and I'm not gonna bother watching Washington Heights. And I encourage you to boycott Washington Heights if you're an Afro-Latino as dark or darker than me. Because we need representation. We need the media to portray reality as it is, and not to portray some sick fantasy of a world where everyone is a certain skin color and certain people of a different shade of skin color have no rights, no spotlight, no existence, no dignity or existence in the concept of what it is to be Latino. I had a YouTube commenter say one time on my page, the word Latino is meant for us mestizos, not you black people. And you know who you are. And I did post a video like earlier last month conveying the same message, but I think I was a little bit too emotional. And I think it was a rant, but that's why I deleted it. But now it's like, come on, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. This lack of respect for Afro-Latinos. And it's just crazy how we're shoved under the rug and we just kind of have to deal with it. We kind of have to deal with not being accepted by the African American community and not being accepted by the light-skinned mestizo community. So we're in this limbo where we're like, which side do we choose? And it all is dependent on skin tone. Because obviously the mulata who was chosen for Washington Heights, you know, she's acceptable to the light-skinned Latinos because she's trigueña. Trigueña is like sand color, you know? But it's crazy. We have a long way to go. It makes me disappointed in humanity when I have to remind people about morality. That's all I'm going to say about Washington Heights. I don't want to see it. I don't care for it. And I don't care if this video affects the revenue sales of this movie. This is Victoria Arzu from Proyecto Más Color. I encourage all Afro-Latinos to boycott Washington Heights. And that's all I can do at this point, because I've tried my best. If you've seen my channel, you've seen how hard my sister and I have tried to educate the public about Afro-Latinos and how we are just as Latino as light-skinned Latinos. Somos tan Latinos como tú. Pero, al misma vez, ustedes no están oyéndose. Ustedes no quieren oír eso. Ustedes no quieren abrazar a la gente afro-latino. No quieren aceptar a la gente afro-latino. Y es una pena porque los afro-latinos han contribuido tanto a la comunidad latina como la comida, los bailes, el reggaetón. Estamos siendo apropiados culturalmente. Cultural appropriation. That's what Afro-Latinos have experienced in the Latin American community. Just pure cultural appropriation. You take our music, you take our food, you take our, footwork and the dancing and the salsa, the bachata and all that stuff, and you don't give us credit. Give us credit. Give us a chance. And I should not be begging. No person should beg to be seen as a human being. No person should try for 8 years. 8 years is a long time. No person should try for 8 years to fight for representation of a demographic of people. No person should try to do that. I don't know how this can be fixed. If you have any suggestions, email me at victoriaarzu3@gmail.com. I'm at a loss. It's like I'm going to keep trying for another decade and it's still going to be the same, because racism in the Latino community is so prevalent, and it's such an integral part of the community that people throw around the words mejora la raza all the time when it comes to having children with other Latinos. The dark Latinos are shunned. This is a Latino caste system. Okay, if you're familiar with the Indian caste system, where darker skinned people are the untouchables. So us Afro-Latinos, we can already just go ahead and be coined the untouchables of the Latino community. And we all have this to blame on Spain. Us Latinos, we pledge allegiance to Spain. We're not really independent from them because we claim them. But do they claim us? Like, oh yeah, I have Spaniard blood. There's a wasp. I have Spaniard blood, blah, blah, blah. What about your indigenous blood? What about your African blood? That matters too, The hegemony isn't the only phenotype that matters, Spanish media. Light-skinned Latinos are not the only Latinos in the world. And the fact that you would hide us deliberately, including you, Miguel, from Washington Heights. The fact that you would deliberately hide us is something, I just want to say it's evil. It's evil. It's not right. It's wrong. And I'm done talking. I don't want this to turn into a rant. Do not go see Washington Heights or Washington Heights. Don't see it. Don't watch it. Don't even bother, like me. I didn't bother watching it because if light-skinned Latinos are going to try to fight for their inclusivity, for their representation in the media, they are complete hypocrites if they're denying that right to Afro Latinos. Thank you very much.